Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? My name is Timothy J. Jones, and yes, I am the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Um, for a few minutes, I want to talk a little bit about Derek Carr. I know. For some of those Saints fans out there that feel like your boy can't put no content out without talking about Derek Carr, I just encourage you to check out about 1,600 of them episodes when I didn't even mention this guy's name. But it's probably going to be one of the last times I mention him for quite some time because the New Orleans Saints have officially put Derek Carr on the retirement list. Derek Carr is no longer the quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. He has officially retired from the National Football League. Now, before I get into this any further, I just got to say I feel bad for Derek Carr when it comes to him having to finish out his career not on his own terms, having an injury kind of determine his fate. When you work as hard as you possibly can to try to make your dreams come true, when you aspire to be what you want to be in life and it happens, you want to finish it on your own terms. So for that, I feel bad for him. But on the other hand, when you made over $200 million in your career being about as mediocre as a C+, it's kind of hard for anybody to really truly feel bad that you have to retire, right? I mean, you're going to be all right. And I feel now that the Saints could possibly be all right by not having this guy on the team. This was one of the worst decisions in New Orleans Saints history. No, Derek Carr isn't the worst quarterback we ever seen in our life. Yes, he can spin the ball. I think he has one of the best deep balls that I've seen from any Saints quarterback. I'll give him that. But just the type of personality that he had, just the deflector that he was, just the energy that he brung, it just was not a good look. The guy never really ingratiated himself in the New Orleans culture. It really felt like he thought that he was holier than thou in some cases, like everybody should be bowing down to him as if, he was going to be the savior of the franchise. And he just couldn't live up to it. This guy was nowhere near Drew Brees. And, no quarterback, to be fair, is going to be Drew Brees. No quarterback, in my opinion, is going to come to New Orleans and do what Drew Brees did, because Drew Brees did something that no other quarterback before him that put on a Saints uniform did, and that is legitimize this franchise. What Derek Carr was supposed to do was stabilize this franchise, and he couldn't do it. But who is to blame for this? Is it Derek Carr? Not really. I mean, if somebody offers you $150 million, like, would you turn it down? The Saints looked at Derek Carr, a guy who got sent home by his former coach, Josh McDaniel. Instead of him sitting on the bench and being a mentor and a leader and just grinning and bearing it and being a team player, he decides to go home. That should have been the first sign that maybe this isn't the right guy in the first place. But you sign him anyway. You keep him in a building like this was Yu Darvish for the Texas Rangers back in the day, where they didn't want him to leave the building and they signed him to a big-time deal. My baseball fans know what I'm talking about. You kept him in a building like you had the second coming of Joe Montana or Tom Brady or something. But you were like the only team that was really out here wooing this guy. And you signed him to this deal, and he comes in, which, if you do all these things, I mean, I can't too much blame him for coming in feeling like he's the savior of the franchise, but couldn't really live up to it. Never really took accountability, always was looking for somebody to blame, and everybody knew really, really fast that this was not going to be a good match. And, the Saints now could finally rebuild. I mentioned on my last episode that the New Orleans Saints got pimp slapped by the rebuild. It wasn't like the New Orleans Saints organization woke up one morning and said, you know what, we need to just go ahead and tear this thing down. Reality slapped the New Orleans Saints in the face. The reset slapped the New Orleans Saints in the face. And a couple things happened. The frustration of the fan base being upset at the product on the field forced upper management to fire Dennis Allen, and Derek Carr, who was huffing and puffing and pouting, and miss me with that, I still feel like there was a chance that Derek Carr could have played in the National Football League. He didn't want to play for the New Orleans Saints, but he didn't want to look like the bad guy. Yes, I am going out like that. I really feel that way. But those two scenarios happened, caused the New Orleans Saints to rebuild. I don't care how it happened. Honestly, I don't. I don't care how we got to this point. The only thing that matters is that we are at this freaking point. So, the New Orleans Saints can move on. I don't know if Tyler Shough is the answer. I don't know if Spencer Rattler is the answer. I don't know if the answer to the New Orleans Saints quarterback problem is a high school senior or something. But all I know is they needed to press the reset button, and the retirement of Derek Carr and along with Dennis Allen being fired as the head coach got us to this point, and I'm happy about it. I'm not happy that the guy ended up getting injured and having to end his career. Once again, I have my questions about that. I think it has more to do with him not wanting to play for the team, but I digress. But all in all, I'm just happy for this rebuild. Derek Carr, I hope that, he finds success post-football. Like I said, $200 million he done made in his career. He's going to be all right. But now that I know that he's no longer the quarterback of the team, it seems like the team looks happier. And I think the Saints fan base are excited about the unknown, right? This is a situation that New Orleans Saints fans have not been in a very long time, where they just don't know what this season is going to turn out to be, but they are open to any possibilities of success in the future. So I would love to hear from you. What do you think about the retirement of Derek Carr? And what do you think about Kool-Aid McKinstry? As soon as the report came out, he snatched up number 4. Comment down below, like and share this video. Once again, my name is Timothy J. Jones. I'm the host of the State of the Saints podcast, and I'm encouraging you to check out Saints Talk with Timothy J. Jones on Bleacher Report. If you're watching this on a Wednesday, then guess what? You can check out Saints Talk with Timothy J. Jones live at 7 p.m. Eastern. But if not, you can always check it out on the Bleacher Report anytime. All you have to do is download the Bleacher Report app and search New Orleans Saints, and you'll see the videos. All right. I hope everybody has a good day. Hope everybody take care. I hope everybody don't party too much about this announcement, because I know a lot of Saints fans are excited about this. It's unfortunate for a guy to not finish his career on his own terms, but we all know how Saints fans can be sometimes. Till next time, all I got to say is, who dat?